Welcome to Newsletter Guru TV, your show with a boatload of smart marketing and business building advice, and a little fun along the way.
This episode of Newsletter Guru TV is brought to you by Jim Palmer's Create Your Dream Business Now Academy, a one-of-a-kind live event where Jim will personally teach you how to market and grow a more profitable business faster, even in a crappy economy. During this event, Jim will reveal how to create a $1 million platform on a shoestring budget. You'll learn how to generate a ton of content with ease, how to attract a steady stream of new customers, and you'll also network with other successful marketers and entrepreneurs. This not-to-be-missed event is May the 7th through the 9th in beautiful San Diego and will quite literally transform your business. Do not miss it. Get all the details and register today at www.dreambizacademy.com. www.dreambizacademy.com.
All right, Jess, move up a little bit more.
Well, you'll open on me, and then you'll move over.
Okay.
It's all about Jim.
It's all about Jim. Get your finger out of the lens.
All right, I'm good.
Ready?
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Jim Palmer, the Newsletter Guru, your dream business coach, and as always, I'm committed to helping you build a more profitable business faster. Coming to you once again from Union Station in really very cool old building here in St. Louis. We're at the Glazer Kennedy Info Summit, and I didn't run into this person. I actually traveled here with her. My daughter, Jessica Rhodes.
Hello.
Mother of Nathan, my most awesome grandson.
Nathan's mom.
Nathan's mom, otherwise known as. Now, one of the reasons I asked Jessica to come back on the show is I did an interview with her for the podcast, Stick Like Glue Radio, and she shared some really, really great information. So here we are on camera. Now, one of the things entrepreneurs need to do in order to grow their business is what? Get exposure. So how do you get exposure? One good way, actually, without even traveling, is to be an expert guest on podcasts and internet radio shows, and that's what Jessica does. And you shared some really good information. First of all, the name of your company is interviewconnections.com, and on that interview we did a few weeks ago, you shared some tips on how people could get noticed so they could be asked to be a guest. So share a little bit of that.
Well, I mean, I want to start because of when we're filming this. I was actually talking this morning about Taylor Swift, and she just launched her album and sold 1.2 million copies. And I'm reading this article, and what she's talking about, or what they're saying she did, is she just went out and got interviewed and did performances and got all this media exposure. And no, you're not Taylor Swift, you're not probably going to be on The Tonight Show and all that stuff, but think about it in your world. You want to be getting on podcasts as a guest, leading up to a product launch or just at any time in your business. So some of the tips that we talked about on the podcast, if you didn't watch that, or if you prefer these videos, is just about how to get noticed. And one of the things I'm always talking with my clients about is, having a polished online presence, because when podcasters are deciding if they want to have you on their show, they're going to check out your website.
That's the first thing they do. They go look at their website,
Your website. If your website looks like crap, they're done. You have about 2 seconds. If you're not putting up any content, if you're not blogging, putting up videos, putting up podcasts, why should you go on their program to put out content if you're not even doing it for your own audience?
That's a really good one. And sometimes if you have a blog and the last post is shown as 2009, that's an indication that you don't got a lot going on.
Right.
Even if you do, it may be unfair, but you got to pay attention. All right, what's another tip?
So another tip would be to be engaging on social media. So even if you don't have a large audience, I know Facebook, everything's changing. It's hard to get people to click like and all that stuff. But even if you have a small fan page or a small following on Facebook, if you're engaging in groups, if you are friends with people who the podcaster is also friends with, you have those friends in common. I mean, let me tell you, when people friend me on Facebook, I look to see if we have any friends in common. If we have at least one friend in common, I usually accept. If we don't, I don't. So, I mean, it's a really little thing. But having, friends in common with the podcast host and just engaging on social media makes a huge difference, because a podcaster wants guests on their show who are going to then engage after the interview is posted, because that's what's going to help drive more listeners to the podcast. And the third and final point I want you to make, Jessica, is you did something for me about 2 weeks ago. Everybody should have a one sheet, right? Yeah.
So it's the one sheet about who you are in little brief capsules, why you'll be a great guest, etc. And I've had a one sheet for the last year and a half or so, and I just happened to look at it and think, even in a year and a half, some of the language is now slightly out of date. And so I asked Jessica and her team to refresh it and rebuff it. And we did that, and like 3 days later, you pitched it to like a bunch of people. Well, not a bunch, but I got like 3 or 4 requests to be on their show inside of like one day, right?
Right, yeah, I just took that one sheet and I went out and reached out to a bunch of podcasters, a bunch of my contacts, and we just booked him all over the place, and he did a bunch of interviews that just went phenomenally well. People are excited about Dream Biz Academy and want to promote it to their audience, and we're going to help promote their show. So, and that one sheet just really shows that you're relevant and you have the information to provide them so they don't have to do a lot of prep work before your interview.
And just like your website, a one sheet is the first thing they're going to see, which is they're going to decide, is this person really professional and have it all together, or is it like a little Word document, or just a text document or something like that. So there's really nice pictures, there's headlines and graphics. It's worth investing in a good one sheet. So how can people learn more about Interview Connections?
Interviewconnections.com. Interviewconnections.com/guest will show you all of the programs and services and products we have if you want to be interviewed as a guest expert.
Awesome. Thanks as always for being a guest.
Thank you.
Hey folks, if you got some value out of what Jessica shared with you, I'd appreciate very much if you would click the share button and post this video, this interview on your news feed. That would be awesome because there's some really, really good content. Before the day's out, look for ways that you can add value to not only your current clients, because when you add value, they end up staying longer. When they stay longer, they end up spending more and referring more. And before the day's out, do one random act of kindness. Everybody, if everybody on the planet does one random act of kindness, the world is just going to be an amazingly nicer place. And I think that's a pretty good goal. You agree? Thank you. Before next week, another episode of Newsletter Guru TV. I am Jim Palmer, your host. I'm the Newsletter Guru always, but I'm also your dream business coach. Actually, my little voice just went off because you prompted me. Next Dream Biz Academy. Thank you so much for reminding me. Next Dream Business Academy is May 7th, 8th, and 9th in beautiful San Diego, California, all right, or California, if as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say. So May 7th, 8th, and 9th in San Diego, California. Be there. You can go and register. You got 12 months to pay. Going to have some really, really amazing guest speakers, including Jessica, who's going to teach you more about how to get booked as a guest and really explode your profile. Until next week, this is Jim Palmer, and you take good care.